So we ready for the little exercise for an adventure? Okay,
Yes.
here's
Welcome, everybody. This week's podcast, we are talking about the art of being and not doing. Of course, we are all used by doing a lot, doing all day, every day. It's the way we also have learned. Uh, Doing nothing is the way we learned. It's almost a crime. But times are changing, and it's very important that we go with this change and the change of the energies that becoming higher in frequency. And it's very important for us to have what I said already, go with this change, but therefore we have to higher our own frequency also. And when we are doing and let us lead us through our brain cells, then we are not higher our frequency, and then our connection with the earth or in the direction Mother Earth is going, and we also should go. You have a free will, so when you don't want to, you don't need to. But most people who likes to go with this change and with this high frequency, what leads to a way better world, and that is of course also very important. Therefore, we have to change things around how we are working as humans. And one of the things is we do way too much and listen not good enough to our inner world. And listen to our inner world. Therefore, we have to do nothing. We have and becoming means that what our inner world is saying, that frequency we have to become. And our inner world is connected with the outside world, with the energy. The way I see it is, when you look at the original sun, we call it the original sun. Most people call it God. But I use the word original sun because from that sun, from everybody, every person, even every living thing, goes a filament of light through to the earth, and you have your own filament. That's just yours. It carries your frequency. It carries everything who you are or who you're supposed to be and what is still coming for you. And that frequency, that filament of light is surrounding your body and going through your body. That filament of light is connected to your soul. Or better said, it is also. Your soul is a part of that filament. And therefore your soul is directly connected with this filament. And to become more aware of where the world is going towards, and therefore you are going towards, is important to connect and with this filament, with the energies that is there. And in this filament of light, I like it also to see it as a river, because a filament, for me, a filament of light is like a light above my head, and I don't see the movement very good. When I make a river of it, then I see the movement. This is not energy that is stuck. That it's energy that is moved like a serpent. One of the important animals is a serpent, a snake, and because it moves like this energy. And when you see it as a river, then it's important to connect with this river consciously. We are connected we are connected every day, all day, every second. We are connected, but we are not consciously connected. And therefore, we don't know that well what our path is. We don't know what our soul contract is. We don't know um, um, what we have to do in this world. Um, but that's all in this river. That's all in this beam of light that comes from this original sun. And therefore you need to connect with it consciously. And therefore you have to stop doing and literally sit down or lay down and connect with the flow of this energy, and let this energy tells you where your life is going toward. And so it's not doing nothing. It's even working harder for some people who are not used to this frequency of this energy. For those people, it's even feels like working harder than a 9 to 5 job where um, yeah, you have to work very hard, because this frequency is most of the time, or it's higher than, for instance, your body frequency. But your body's frequency has to go with it, and that makes tired. Also, um, yeah, and not only body, everything about you is going in that higher frequency, and you for some people it is difficult to understand, but I see it literally when it's about the body. Every body is made out of billions of cells, and all those cells have an electric current. And because of that current, that cell has a kind of vibration. When it's the normal vibration, what you have had your whole life already, then you don't get tired of it. But all of a sudden, it goes like this. Every cell, billions of cells in your body. Can you understand that it makes you tired? And also that some pains come more in the foreground. Some sickness are going away, and some sickness coming more to the foreground. That you become aware of it, that it is there, so that you can do something about it. So the art of being and not doing doesn't mean that you do nothing, but you are physically, mentally, and brainly, you are doing nothing, only connecting and being aware, and let everything happen what is, and let everything coming towards you. Do you want to go further with it, or
I
whatever
do.
you
I want
want?
to extend a little bit on how you gave the illustration of the original sun, and the word for sun, the Latin word is soul, S-O-L. So our soul and the sun is that's the energy of our soul. Our sun, our physical sun in the sky brings that energy to 3D. So the soul, solar system. Okay, so the solar system is the soul of a higher being. Mm. And so this filament that comes down through each of us and connects us directly to the heart of Pachamama, Mother Earth, and our physical sun nurtures that connection. It's what we call life. It's our life force, right? We get all life is due to the sun. If our sun disappeared, life would disappear here. And so to be and not do, we want to be in harmony with the higher frequencies is what's happening right now. If you're looking on YouTube or probably anywhere else, we're talking of all these fantastic solar flare, the solar flare storms. That is our physical sun depositing the higher frequencies, the new frequencies that humanity has evolved to the point that we are ready. It is Pachamama's journey. She is receiving all of these higher frequencies, all of these earth changes that are happening, is receiving and preparing to receive the new higher frequency. They are frequencies that have not been here in the now before. That they are new to here. So it not just new to us, but it's actually new to Pachamama as well. And so it's like a promotion and graduation where there's a level of evolution that has been achieved. Not just humanity either, it's all her other children, all the children of nature, the mineral, the plant, the animal kingdoms, the insects, the flying, everybody. There is a frequency shift upward to higher frequencies. This world that we live in has evolved to a point where it is the new low frequency is a higher frequency. And the older frequencies the dense frequencies that we're calling 3D frequencies, a lot of people are calling this what I'm talking about right now. I see it on YouTube. People identify it as 3D and 5D, which is not my vision of that. But if you're receiving those higher vibrations, then the way they're putting it out there, then your new foundation is in 5D and the 3D goes away. You just don't resonate there anymore. And we're in a new bandwidth. Just our existence is within a new bandwidth of frequencies now. And in order to flow with that within that river, because your filament is a part of that greater river. And in order to flow, then we need to lift ourselves up out of the doing, which belongs with the 3D world, the outer world of, um, you have to prove your worth. That's really all this doing is about proving your worth, proving that you're important, that you're needed, that you belong here. And that's all, it's all done. That's all done. That's over with. And the new frequencies of being, Pachamama is calling for your authentic self. In order to harmonize with these new frequencies, you need to be vibrating at your original vibration when you came in before you experienced all your earthly doings. Your frequency was pure, a pure frequency. It was pure you. Nobody else has that one. Nobody else can express that one. And then when we get here, we try on all these other little outfits to fit in our family. We find our place within our community. We have a new outfit there. We have a new outfit everywhere we go, our job, and we do all the appropriate things that match each one of those outfits. And now it's time to be. And that's the hardest part is to be is you're simply returning to your original frequency before you put all the costumes on. And the easiest way to do that is I will always say, go put your feet in the grass, go sit in nature and be, and don't spend time on the thoughts of, oh my gosh, I forgot to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've got to this. Let all those go away when we're being, when you and I receive what we're supposed to do for the next podcast, we don't immediately start doing like we receive the message on what the podcast should be about, but I can't just sit down and go, "Oh, we're going to talk about this," and I just write and write and write, and it's going to be this, and I got my little bullet points and stuff. It isn't how it happens. I will receive what that is about, and until all of my other thoughts of my all my doing is done, well, it's never done, but until it's balanced to the point where I can put it aside a little bit. Must be a little more honest about that. So when I can reach a point where I'm a little more balanced and I can just enter into the calmness, into the quiet, and sit in silence with absolute silence. Not necessarily that it's silent around me, but the silence within is I need to reach the silence within. There, I'm directly connected. I'm getting direct information, and it's me. And by information, I'm not saying words or messages even are coming through. Sometimes I will just sit, and that's it. That's all that happens is I sat for 10 minutes and I did my deep breathing, or maybe not. Maybe I was just daydreaming, looking at the trees swaying back and forth. Whatever it is, that's soul talk. That's what I call that, soul talk. And it doesn't have an outer purpose. It's like I didn't achieve a topic to bring to the podcast, but I brought the concept of the podcast to my inner world of being. And when I do that, then my energy shifts to the frequency that will attract out of that river that's constantly flowing that I'm in. When I have my frequency set to what we're going to discuss in the podcast, then my contribution to the podcast shows up because my frequency is there. So I don't go through the brain for, oh, we're going to talk about this. I'm going to say this and this and this and this and this. I sit with what we were asked to put as a topic for the podcast, and I wait for it to come to me what's supposed to be said or what we're supposed to share. And so being within that river, being conscious of being within that river and the frequency that you're contributing to that river is what's going to attract what comes next. And this is how I'm describing being in the flow is you're not co-creating, you're not making a vision board, you're not setting goals. You are allowing, and you redefine yourself pretty much within every moment because you just recalibrating your energies because these are frequencies that have not been here. We aren't used to them. We are not familiar with them. Pachamama's not familiar with them. So we're all just kind of recalibrating and finding our new comfort zone and being just being in harmony with what's around you just requires staying strong in your own frequency within. And so the physical sun channels the original sun. The original sun is the filament of your soul. So literally go out into the sun and nurture your souls and all kinds of connections and all kinds of new information and yummy stuff. It's all wonderful. That's where it happens. It's the best place to be. So to recap, um, Pachamama is calling for your authentic self. Your authentic self is the being self. There's nothing to do. So go be in the sun and directly channel your own soul. That's fun. I like that
That
one.
is that's why I have a collar. And um, when you look at the bigger picture, even is where we are going towards, is that all this frequency where we were talking about that is coming towards us now is coming more and more and will change more and more. So stay connected with your own filament means also that you also stay connected with this transformation, what is happening with our Mother Earth, our Pachamama, and we are transforming together with her. And because Pachamama is also connected with this filament. When you look a little later still, when all this transformation starts to happen and your frequency is going up like that from Pachamama, is then we are that high in frequency that we can co-create the world together with Pachamama. And therefore it is so important already now starting to higher your frequency, but also knowing what your frequency is, what your soul contract is, what you are here to do. And it can be that is something completely different as what you have learned. For me, that is also that way. And so that what you have to do as soon as possible, but later on can be completely else. But what your soul contract is what you have to do. And therefore it's important, the higher your frequency is, the more you can do. But what you also can do is when we are at we will in our lifetime never be at the end change. But when the changes are happening that much that we already or there will be asked for about on us to be co-creators, we can also turn around and help other peoples whose frequency are not that high already, to help them to go to your level. And so therefore is it important for the life, for this life in these times where you have chosen to be here, is one of the very important things you have to do. And therefore you need to be who you are, who you really are, who your authentic self is, who your soul self is. What I'm thinking right now is there are people in this world who had already from a very young age connections with their own soul. I'm thinking about artists, and so who already could, a painter knew already that he needed to paint for the rest of his life. A writer, a singer, and those people were already in a very close connection with their own soul. That doesn't mean that their lives were easy, because they lived in the way Robin said it before, in a 3D world. And so most of those artists, when they really followed their soul and became very good in their art, they became, most of the time they become well known, and people like to buy their stuff, buy their art. Um, um, but then the 3D world comes in, and then there are opinions, and there is pressure, there is money involved. So there are all kinds of things that it's possible that those artists cannot follow the stream of their river completely. They are still connected. They always, it's not, uh, um, what I'm trying to say is the title, The Art of Being and Not Doing. You cannot, you can do when it's driven from this, where those artists are driven of, from this soul. They have to be, they have to paint, they have to sing, they have to write, because it comes from there. But when then contracts are coming, people expect you the next time you make an even more beautiful painting than you make just before. You can lose the connection for a part of that stream, because where we normal beings that don't have that art part, and who are not connected with their soul purpose from the beginning, um, 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 we always think, oh, it must be so beautiful to be so early on connected. Yeah, for a part that is beautiful, but it's also they had already that high frequency from their soul where they could live in, but they had to connect it with this lower 3D world where everything is about doing, and the pressure of that, and many of them did lose their river of their soul, of their filament. And you see, for instance, by some of those people who really couldn't find the way back, and got out, got off track, really not from normal life also. Uh, um, um, so it's important that you don't listen as not doing, but being is not doing nothing, but it starts with doing nothing, only being aware. And also, when you do nothing but listen and try to understand what the river is telling you, try to understand what your own soul is telling you, is try to relax. Try to something what many people of us have trouble with, and that is trust. Trust that the river is perfect for you. Everything what is coming out of this river is, it cannot be better than that. But you it can be sometimes that it's not clear from the beginning. You have to be patient. So we're talking about energy. And so when something something got clear, something you worked out, something is gonna move through this river. It needs time that energy goes to that part of the world where that goes. So it needs time that it can come towards you. So relax, trust, and patience. That are the best qualities you can have in these times. And they are the most difficult ones also, because we tend not to have them. And
So I just wanted
the
go
last
ahead.
thing I want to say, I'm sorry, the last thing is let's don't close yourself up, but let your flow surprise you. It can be flowing through those things you really couldn't think about yourself, and it still belongs to you, and let it surprise you and embrace it. Robin.
Okay, so there's a couple things I wanna do. So but in the end, will you remind me, Clementine, I wanna end with a little exercise to go have a tiny adventure? Okay. Alright, so I wanna touch on co-creating. Co-creating means co-creating. You are not God. You are not in control. You are in control of what you are putting yourself in harmony with. The river is flowing all the time. So you aren't creating the river. You are in the river. The river has everything you need. It is there for you all the time, always. It is there. It's your awareness that you have control over. And what you put your awareness on takes your frequency down or lifts it up. So you want to keep your awareness on what lifts you up because our frequencies around us are higher frequencies now. So to co create means you are being, not doing, you're not making a vision board. Because you're making a vision board, you're setting limitations. You're setting limitations with you're only accepting exactly how you see it and how you envision it. And it eliminates the other possibilities that are not in that frequency. So it's being rather than doing for co-creating. What you're actually doing, Clementina's already said, you're trusting that flow. It's already there. It will bring you everything you need that matches the frequency that you're at. Your needs are defined by your frequency. What are you vibrating at? There's there's frequencies within frequencies that signal that you are happy, you are balanced, there's no lack of anything. You're in pure balance. Let me know how you achieve that. And then there are frequencies that there is always something, a little bit of adjustment over here, a little bit of adjustment over there. Like for example, like I'm on my manifestation path, everything's falling into place, this is looking wonderful. And then all of a sudden, like one of those old self-sabotage things comes up, right? And boom, 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 it's like, oh, not so pretty today. And instead of buying into that, and getting mad at yourself and all that negative self talk, just recognize that that is, oh, I had one last piece. Let's just release it. You don't even have to identify it. You don't have to look at where it came from. Don't spend time with it. Just know It came up because it's like, "Oh, hey, I'm still in here. Do you really wanna take me on the trip?" And you're like, "No, I don't." Put it out in the river and let it go on its journey. You're done with it. Trust the river will replace that with what you need in your new form. And that is the art of co-creating by being rather than doing. Okay? Once we can lift each other up, and we can as long as that's not what we're trying to do. The way that we lift others is to be. All of these new frequencies are calling for us to be our authentic selves so we can be. If everybody is being their authentic self, then everything comes into balance. The art of co-creating by being rather than doing. You place your trust and you vibrate at your authentic frequency. When everybody is doing that, everything is in pure balance. Life itself is in balance. And all those harsh things that we're looking at out here, we stop co-creating them. Because everything that's outside us, all the wars and everything, we are co-creating those. We are not separate from those. And it's all um, from a mishmash of frequencies of we've been conditioned to not be authentic, and so now our times are calling for authentic. We just are moving there, and this is what the river is magnifying right now, is the need for authenticity. And the river knows authentic you. The river knows authentic me. It's waiting to deliver what we need to fulfill the purpose we came here for. See, there's nothing for us to do. We have to be. Just be and just keep being more of you. Okay. Now, do we want to? You have more?
I just short want to react on that. To perhaps it's easier to understand when you are that high frequency, then you radiate that frequency out. Also your low frequency, yes. So, but when you are that high frequency, and it depends what your task is, but that frequency can be healing. So you can be a healer without doing, without putting your hands on somebody. Just by being that high of a frequency, you come into a room and everybody in that room gets some healing when they can let it inside. So the higher your frequency, by being, you're doing exactly what you have to do. Radiate that energy. And with that energy, that radiation, that's the ripple effect, what you can give. And with that, you co-create. And that's why what Robin also said before is all these wars, everything what is in this world has to do also what we bring in this world. Is look at um, look in traffic. Look in some cities that women don't dare to walk outside anymore at night or even in daylight. And so there is so much low frequency also, and that is a part of the co-creation of the wars and all those other strange things that happening. Yes, so hiring the frequency is co-creating with Pachamama on a level where we have no clue already, because the frequency going up, 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 we are not there yet, but it will be magnificent. It will be so beautiful. And life is so much easier also when you are in your flow, when you are your river, becoming better and better in it. But it takes time and a day practice, daily practice, or weekly.
What you can do.
Yes.
I wanna also say, um, I am not saying that this is passive. There's a participation, co-creative, right? So there's a participation. It's just that we're releasing the control because all of the manifestation things that I see, you get a really clear picture and all the details, and then it can't help but manifest. But then you've locked out every other possibility. And so this is not how co-creation is happening in the river. In the river, you still tell the river what you want, what you think you need, but then you let it go. And I personally, I end every one of those with or better. Because the river knows if there's something better, then send that to me. Because my little mind thinks this would be good. But if you know something that would be better for me, go ahead and send that. I will step up. So I end all of my manifestation prayers with or better. But then you let it go. You don't run around all day looking for a sign and some kind of confirmation that this is happening and, oh, there it is, and oh, it's coming. And you just let it go and trust. And the hardest part for all of us, because that's the one thing we've been taught not to do. We've been even taught not to trust our inner selves. So this is an exercise for learning to trust your inner self and then become more of your inner self. Just be more, be more, be more. So we ready for the little exercise for an adventure? Okay.
Yes.
Here's here's what I want to do, and jump on and throw some comments in there. Let us know what happens. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it again on the next podcast. We'll talk about what happened for us. Yeah? Okay. All right. So here's my challenge. Sometime this week, before you come back to the next podcast, I want you to walk out your door with no purpose. I do not want you to even know which direction you're going to go. I want you to go out your door to the end of your sidewalk or your stairs, whatever the end is, where your first decision is on which direction to go, and wait until you get there and look for a sign. Well, for me, it'll be something like I'll hear a bird over in this direction, I'll go there. Or like if the sun is behind the clouds and all of a sudden comes out and it's over there, I'll go left. Okay. So create yourself a little adventure.
And, and
Give yourself
you can also do this with feeling. In these things, I always do that with feeling. I'm going inside. I
absolutely,
I ask my inner being, my inner knowing, left or right.
absolutely.
And I don't hear left or right in my ears. I get a push or a pull in my body.
Yeah. So listen to your body or listen to an outside stimulation. Because if you're coming, 'cause you're asking the question from within, right? You want your adventure for you. So you're solid on your inner world. And this is how you're being. You're 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 letting your inner world direct you in this outer world instead of the other way. You're just noticing the signs, but it still has to come from within. So I'm I'm saying go with your intuition. However you receive your signs, go with your intuition and then just create this little 5 to 10 minute adventure. It was like, okay, so if I go out to the end of my stairs and I hear a bird over here, I will go that way. I don't know how long and I don't know why. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just going to go till something tells me to either stop or to go in another direction, or I might run into somebody that I'm going to have a conversation with. I mean, it just opens up a plethora of adventure possibilities. So that's my challenge. Go out and create an adventure, an intuitive adventure for yourself, because you will find your authentic self in that adventure.
I want to add a little thing at this adventure is ask for something what you can take home with you. A little, that can be a stone, that can be a feather, that can be a branch, that can be whatever it is. So what is important for you at this moment? And perhaps you only find out the answer in 2 weeks' time. That doesn't matter. Just bring it home and connect with it.
So understand this is an adventure with Pachamama, with Pachamama's new higher frequencies, and the point is for you to become more authentically you so you can be in your higher frequencies with Pachamama. So ask Pachamama for a gift that will anchor your adventure and you'll discover meanings later. There's always layers. You may have a meaning immediately, you'll have another one later. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you for listening till the end. And of course, please describe what you have on your little adventure have seen, what you want to say at least, and questions. You can everything put in the comments, and we see you next week, hopefully. Bye.